Yeah, because you have to click go live as well. That's really useful. It should. Am I here now? Is that it? I'm an expert streamer, as you can tell. I haven't streamed on YouTube for so long. Last time I streamed on YouTube, it just started. This time I needed to click start stream as well. So there it is. I think we're there now. Are we there now? Should I double check? Should I double check just to be sure? I'm thinking. I'm just gonna sort of double check and see. But I think I'm live now. I think it's working. Is it working? It's working. Nice. Let me just copy that. There we go. Yeah, so it's funny, when I'm using Streamlabs OBS to stream onto YouTube, it just automatically starts. And yeah, okay, don't need the advert. And then when I when I use OBS, which I'm using now, it doesn't automatically start. So I clicked start stream, and I can actually see myself, and I've been talking for like minutes, and then I noticed like, people are saying there's a loading symbol. This is weird. What are they saying? What's going on? Turns out I needed to click start stream on YouTube as well. But hey, we made it. We're here. So let me restart from where I left off. What's up, guys? Rogue9 here, and welcome to our stream for the Rainbow Six Siege Operation Neon Dawn reveal panel. So we're going to see everything about the new operator, the reworked Skyscraper map, maybe some other news, possibly something about Tachanka. I'm hoping there is news about Tachanka, and yeah, we'll take it from there. We'll see how that goes. I'm quite excited to see what the new season is going to bring. It feels like the last season only just started, and now we're already looking at the next season. I don't know where the time is going. It's all over the place, but there we are. It's year 5, season 4 already. So there, didn't miss anything. Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm on the YouTube stream, which is premiering in 2 minutes. I'm going to go with it from there. Or maybe I should really have the Twitch stream up as well, just because I also need to be cautious that we don't overrun by too far, because I'm going to be doing obviously a little bit of discussion at the end of that, and seeing what I think about what's being revealed, the map and the operator and everything else, but need to obviously be sure as well that I don't overrun, because I have some stuff to do for the Pro League final or the EUL final as well, and we don't want to overrun into that. So yeah, we have 2 minutes to go according to the Twitch stream, and 2 minutes on this reveal panel, so we'll go with that. You haven't played since year 3. That's quite a long break. First time seeing Rogue9, and I wasn't expecting the Gallic beard on this man. Love it. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed. Glad you like it. Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty short beard. I had it like at 10 millimeters for a long time. And just when the lockdown started happening, I just thought, you know what? Just gonna let it go. Just gonna see what happens. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. I'll just grow it and see what happens. And yeah, there it is. That's how far I've come, basically. I am kind of excited. Yeah, I mean, I've liked this last season. I like Ace not Ace. Ace was good. I liked Ace, but I also, obviously, we're talking about the last season, Sam Fisher or Zero. I like him. I think he's a great operator. I think he's quite well balanced, but very useful, very powerful. So it's refreshing to have operators to be excited about compared to the operators we had before. Like when I think about Nurk and Warden and Kali, and it's just like, I don't like playing these operators. They don't feel good. And just coming back to operators that feel a little bit more powerful, a little bit more useful. I'm up for that. I'm enjoying that, and I'm excited to see what this new season brings for us. So we have about 30 seconds left, according to the Twitch stream at least. Unsure whether the YouTube stream will start. I quite like that because you can rewind, so we might watch that there. If it doesn't, I'll just pop the Twitch stream over and we'll watch the Twitch stream. Year 4 was very dry. I agree. Like, Mozzie and Gridlock were fun and interesting. Definitely very useful in terms of Mozzie and the new weapons and everything. But yeah, so let's just go with that. And I can't hear
Neon Dawn, our final season of Year 5 of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm your host, Seltzer, and today we've got a lot to cover. We've got a brand new operator, we've got a new map update, and we've got new gameplay updates coming very soon. But before we get a deeper look at the new season with our development team, we've got Chris Waters from Ubisoft News here with the breakdown.
So apparently the Twitch stream is starting quicker. We'll go with that.
Operation Neon Dawn is lighting up Rainbow Six Siege in a whole new way as a defender named Aruni is setting up laser gates. Angry laser gates. Look,
oh,
I know
amazing.
They seem
it's
cool
showing
and
the wrong
synth wavy, but attackers,
showing the wrong
please
stream.
don't touch them.
Like an
I
idiot.
promise you it's for your own good.
Okay.
These gates have it out for drones, utility projectiles, and anyone on the attacking team, making Aruni a powerful architect of defense.
Capturing the wrong window.
Neon Dawn is also bringing a Skyscraper map rework, as well as some key gameplay updates, including a nice little upgrade to Hibana's X-Kairos launcher.
That's better.
As the final season of Year 5 of Siege, Neon Dawn is definitely going to punch above its weight. Aruni is a medium-speed, medium-armor defender from Thailand who can slow down, stymie, and seriously singe attackers with her Surya gates. She can drape them over a soft or reinforced wall, set them up on windows, or use them to protect hatches, and they will completely cover the area. When she deploys them over doors, however, they leave a gap at the bottom for drones or nicely aimed projectiles. Attackers will need to take advantage of that gap because the laser grid of a Surya gate will destroy any drone or utility projectile that hits it. And if an attacker touches it, it'll take a substantial bite out of their health. See, when a Surya gate destroys something or zaps someone, it deactivates temporarily to recharge. So, once an attacker uses some utility like a grenade or a gadget, or burns some of their health to take down a Surya gate, that doorway is just a doorway again. Keep in mind that there is a short delay from zapping something to deactivation. This short delay is all Aruni needs to get her speedy P-10 Roni submachine gun or her big, bad MK-14 EBR marksman rifle trained on the door in question. The first DMR to be wielded by a defender is not to be taken lightly, and Aruni always has her PRB-92 sidearm standing by for close encounters. Influencing where encounters happen is one of Aruni's biggest strengths, as her Surya gates help the defending team reconfigure the map to their advantage.
It turns off
you
for
see,
defenders.
While
That's
attackers get hung up dealing with laser problems, defenders can waltz right through. The Surya gate turns off when a defender is close, making them perfect for protecting your rotation holes. Just be careful not to set up an ambush too close to one while an attacker is nearby, or you may give your position away by turning off the gate. Even if the attackers do shut down a gate, Surya gate generators are indestructible, but while the gate will recharge, it won't reactivate automatically. Defenders will have to wait until the sparking effect stops and the generator flips open again. Then they'll have to shoot it to get the grid back online.
Surya gate active!
And if Aruni ever decides to shift her defensive focus, the generators can be picked up and repositioned at will. The power of the Surya gates to disrupt attackers' plans and movements, plus the added barbed wire or proximity alarms in her secondary gadget slot, make Aruni a formidable asset to any defending team. Oh, and one more thing. You've seen that Aruni's prosthetics give her melee attack a little extra flair, but on the test server, she'll have some extra destructive power as well. PC players can download the test server for free and take Aruni's wall-bustin' left hook for a spin. Just be sure to send the dev team some feedback and let them know what you think.
So she can punch through walls. Okay then. Okay then. Why not? When is this coming out? Probably in 3 to 4 weeks, to be fair.
The new map rework coming to Operation Neon Dawn is Skyscraper. Now, this one took a little extra time to get right, but we're really pleased with how it turned out. For more information on the new Skyscraper, here's level designer Nicolas Jolicoeur.
Well, one of the first things we did was to have a little less windows in certain areas so that the crossfires are not as deadly as they used to be, which really helps. Also, there are certain balconies that we removed so that attackers are less likely to stay outside and just stay at the windows. The whole exterior wall of Karaoke, that was where there used to be a balcony. That whole balcony side, we removed that. So the only way to be on that wall to come into one of the windows is through rappelling. Well, the whole restaurant area, what is interesting is that we've cut the restaurant part in half. So you got the bars. So now we have, would say, like the cocktail bars, and now we're gonna have a sushi bar. And then you're gonna have a double door that will send you into the restaurant area where you have the bathroom. So that really makes it so that you're less in the feeling that you have angles all over the place, as much for attackers or defenders. When you would be in a restaurant, you felt like everyone could see you from anywhere. We've added a whole new connection. I find that that's the most exciting part of all of our changes. On the second floor, if you remember, Dragon used to be exterior. Well, now it's interior. And we've added a new small section outside of it named Shrine. And now, thanks to that, we now have a connection where you could go from the VIP clearance, go through Dragon, and get all the way to Tea Room. So with this new connection going on, there are so much more possibilities for as attackers and defenders to create new strategies. And it makes it much more exciting. So we still have those very nice rooftops on either side, which you still don't have access to. But in the middle, right over Dragon and Terrace, now you could rappel on top of that roof to help you be able to get to the other side of the map much quicker. If you remember correctly, bedroom and bathroom used to be a little claustrophobic. Now, which is fun with the new layout that we got, it's still sort of similar to what we have, but it breathes so much more. And you have new ways of attacking it now. So you've got an entrance from delivery room that now has a destructible wall with it. There was something that no one enjoyed. If you remember correctly, there was the back stairs where all you had to do was stay down on the stairs and you could see underneath the barricades of the door and you could shoot anyone that was coming through there. Well, now that's changed and there's no more of that going on. It was like, it's a slight change, but it really makes a huge difference.
Thank you, Nick. Next up, we have game designer Emilian Lomé and our writer Gary Astleford to tell us more about our newest defender, Aruni.
Core aspect that we want for Aruni is to be an architect of defense. It is a role that emerged in Siege very early. Mira, Castle, and also Smoke was also dedicated to that due to the combination of SMG and shotgun. And that specific role is something we really like in defense, and we wanted to make a new one that would join this club of operators that we call architects. Going with this laser gate with this proximity detection means that if a defender gets close, the laser can turn off. So it is not a symmetrical relationship like with Castle. If I block a doorway of Castle, I block it for everyone. With Aruni, I can block a rotation, use it as much as I want, and the attacker is going to have to face the challenge, not me. It's a layer thing. You have the wall, you have the reinforcement.
Is it indestructible? It has to be, right?
So you can have all three of them at the same time. You can bridge the wall, and then behind the attacker is like, oh well.
Because otherwise you could just shoot it.
An Aruni gate that is also preventing me from moving forwards. An extra step for me to deal with. Same thing for hatches. You can have the hatch reinforced and the laser underneath it. The choice is going to be important. Going for a wall will oftentimes mean using more of them. If you're in consulate garage, you can do that, but that's all of your gate for just the wall, instead of protecting kitchen or server with it. We want you to make choices. We want you to be able to protect walls better, but doing this brings a diminishing return. The interaction of the laser is a critical component, so we wanted everyone to be able to deal with lasers. We want to always have an option, or almost always. The level of safety provided by Aruni is not the same as Castle. Those two, we wanted those two to be very different, but this thing does not block bullets, does not block vision, and technically doesn't block people either. But it's, again, a deterrent. You need to play on the mind of the attacker to win this, not just on, okay, this is blocked. The point is, we don't really want this, okay, I'm tossing my utility there, it's done, I'm doing something else. No, it's like, okay, team, we're going to go through that door and secure the floor together, and once that's done, we can move forward. So we want Aruni to create those moments again and again during a round. It's something that creates moments, 30-second window for the attacker to execute, the same way they would on an objective room.
I was waiting for you.
Tachanka is a great way to just push through the gate, take the damage, and soak it with the extra health, and at the same time, surprise the defender because you did something they'd probably never expect.
Except now
Aruni
everyone
is
knows.
both an easy gadget to get rid of and also a big challenge to actually maintain this state of it's no longer there. Considering the character we made, we allowed her to have like a stronger punch, and when she does another wall, she creates openings. Not big, like shotgun shell size, but you can absolutely make your own rotation with Aruni. So as an architect, without that option, it was either the secondary shotgun, which we already kind of have in a few operators, or primary shotguns. And if you want this architect role, primary shotgun would be mandatory, and it would be a bit disappointing for us to not explore other things. Right now we can, so we went with two options, one that is more of a classic defender way to do things, the P10 Roni. But we also are trying something new here, and we're bringing a DMR in defense. She has access to the MK14, and I'm really curious to see how that goes.
I'm reloading!
When Aruni was a child, she grew up on the Thailand-Cambodia border. And her little sister was playing and detonated a mine that had been unexploded. And it took her sister's life. And that was a pivotal moment in her life because it allows her to focus more on charities and making sure that doesn't happen to somebody else. Aruni is sort of like Nighthaven's conscience, you know? She lives a very austere lifestyle. She doesn't spend a lot of money on herself. So she finds places to spend that money where it will do the most good. The other reason she joined Nighthaven is because Nighthaven has access to a lot of cutting-edge technology. And as somebody who uses prosthetic limbs in her day-to-day, she's really interested in making sure she has cutting-edge technology when it comes to prosthetics. Aruni and Thermite were working on a joint operation in Thailand, tracking down a weapons ring. And during the course of that investigation, there was an accident, and they were both seriously injured. Aruni more so than Thermite. I can't talk too much about the details of the accident, but I can assure you they will be revealed in the future. We are looking to have a lot of inclusivity and diversity in all the operators that we've got coming. And so in those cases, we are doing our research and we are talking with consultants to make sure we're sensitive to these issues and we present them in a good light and that these characters are relatable.
Thanks, guys. Emilian will also be posting in the upcoming designer's notes about our plans to address the 20-second meta. You can find those notes on Rainbow Six social channels and our website shortly after the stream. Now, last season, we introduced our accessibility tab, and with it, the ability to change site colors and opacity. This season, we're very excited to expand our accessibility features with new communication options, including voice-to-text and text-to-voice. There are also a bunch of gameplay updates coming with Operation Neon Dawn. Here to discuss further are David Perpignan and Aurélie Debont.
Spawn picking and runouts are very frustrating for most players and especially newcomers and intermediary players, but because they don't have the knowledge of the map and also not enough coordination. Defenders going outside is not a problem for us, but it should be more risky. So it's for this reason we reduce the outside timer detection, so we reduce to 1 second. But I think this shorter timer will help the attacker player to manage better their attack and also reduce the negative impact to be killed by a run out very early in the round. So defenders have to commit to their runouts and attacker could react much quicker. So I think the change should be fairer for all players.
Currently, Jaeger has a pretty dominant position on the catcher utility meta. That is a meta that has been very present on Rainbow Six for some time now, so we're taking some actions in this matter. If we are able to modify Jaeger's behavior, we may be able to modify a bit the distribution on projectiles and utility. The new ADS won't be able to catch 2 rounds consecutively. After destroying a projectile, the ADS will remain disabled for 10 seconds, so this is a big change. When the disabled time ends, the ADS will come back to the active status and will be able to catch projectiles again. The counterpart of this change is that the ADS will have infinite charges, so you have a cooldown after catching something, but you cannot catch one after another.
Okay.
Jaeger is causing now a lot of pressure into the economy of projectiles for attackers, so we're expecting a bit of a change here. Right now, you shouldn't need as many projectiles as before to deal with him, so we expect to see a bit more of variety on the attacker sides in terms of projectiles and secondary gadgets. Jaeger is not the only change we are going to do for the 20-second meta. During this season, you may expect more changes from the balancing cell regarding this matter. With the recent release of Ace and the Hard Breacher, we wanted to take a look at the whole ecosystem for breachers in the game, and we decided to make some changes in Ivana. So we are tweaking a bit the resource management on her to give her more functionalities. Now Ivana will be able to choose how many pellets she wants to shoot with the X-Kairos launcher. We'll let the player choose between 3 options. They can choose between 6 pellets, 4 pellets, or 2 pellets. Now Ivana is going to be able to be more flexible and have better choices during the match. The fact that the resources are more distributed will allow her to react specifically to its circumstance. For example, if you are facing a castle, you can choose to shoot only 2 pellets and you're going to save a lot of X-Kairos into your pocket. And if you found a hatch that it's just reinforced, you choose to shoot 4 of the pellets and you'll break it. Ivana has been known for a long time as the queen of the hatches, and we're trying to reinforce that role right now. Right now, Echo is a super strong operator that ends in the status of ban or pick. It's hard not to see him on a match of Pro League if it's not banned, and we think we need to take extra steps to fix this. The current yokai drones for Echo are a drone that you can throw and attach to the ceiling, and they become invisible once they are not operated, which means that it's pretty hard to spot. The new yokai drones won't be using the invisibility system, so when they are deployed and they are attached into the ceiling, they can still be spotted by other operators and destroyed. Let's say it's a bit easier to find them. Echo could still play as it plays right now, but he will need to be a bit more careful with the drones. A bit of map knowledge is going to be a bonus for Echo's players, because you need to hide those drones from the attackers, and that's important. He will need to invest more time on the observation tools, and for compensating that a bit, we are bringing back the shield to his loadout.
Aruni and the rest of Operation Neon Dawn will be live on the test server tomorrow, November 9th. So please play, have fun, and send us your feedback. We'll also be sharing more news shortly about Siege on next-gen consoles, so make sure you keep your eyes on all the usual Siege channels. Thanks so much for watching, and now back to the EU Major.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Holy cow. Yeah, I mean, that's a massive Jaeger in the last sort of season, when they presented how strong he is, was already pretty weak in terms of his performance. It's still massively picked, but really, really underperformed. And now they're nerfing him even more. That's pretty huge, I think. That's massive. Jeez. Like, I almost don't know what to think about that, because that's a really strong nerf. Okay, he can now catch unlimited projectiles, but that's pretty nuts that it's on a timer now. Honestly, I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure what to think about that, because Jaeger to me wasn't massively annoying. It's not like I desperately needed him to be nerfed. Like, he's already underperforming. He might be still annoying to many players, but he's definitely not overpowered. Oh, nice. I like how that's a thing now. Let me just quickly make sure we get this set up again. I'm working with, I should have just gone with screen capture, but I've gone with window capture. So let me just find the right window again. Is it actually that one? There we go. That's much better. So now we can play that and actually have a bit of a discussion as well still. So yeah, Jaeger's getting nerfed, and I think it's a move of desperation, and it's based solely on his pick rate, not his actual ability. He's not performing that well, certainly not over the last season. His gun isn't that great anymore. Now his gadget's getting nerfed. That's massive, and I don't know how to feel about that. Like, you keep nerfing him, eventually he's certainly less fun to play now than he has been in a long time. And are you really making him less annoying? Or, because it's always like a balance, like, is a character annoying to play against? Or is he fun to play as, right? And you can have characters that are fun to play but annoying to play against. You can have characters that are fun to play and okay to play against. Those are perfect. And then, of course, you can have operators that are not fun to play and not fun to play against. And I'm starting to almost feel that Jaeger, I hope he becomes much less annoying to the people that he annoys, because Jaeger doesn't annoy me that much. I hope he becomes much less annoying than he becomes less fun to play, if that makes sense. So, yeah, interesting. And then Echo, I mean, for me as well, Echo, I get it that at Pro League and probably Diamond and Champion and maybe some Plat, Echo can be really, really, really frustrating and really annoying. But making his yokai simply visible? Jeez, okay. Get wrecked, nerd. You're done. You're toast. Echo still has some utility, but now you really don't. I certainly don't see him as being, for me, a pick that I want to go with. Full stop. And I think, I mean, if they're trying to make him less of an auto ban, that's 100% what they're achieving. Whether or not that's for the best, or whether they've taken it too far, I guess we'll get to see. Runouts, in case you're joining now, runouts cut down to 1 second. Okay, I'm fine with that. That's fine by me. It used to be 2 seconds, now it's essentially 1 second. So you get, if you're jumping out from a window, by the time your feet hit the ground, you're basically already discovered. Okay, fine by me. And then, of course, yeah, we have the map rework and of course the new operator. New operator, I find it looks really interesting. So these gadgets, I'm assuming you can't shoot them. I'm assuming they have to be bulletproof, because otherwise you could just, as an attacker, shoot them. And as a defender, you have to actually shoot them to activate them. So that's really interesting. I almost wonder if she's going to be underwhelming, to be honest, because all you have to do is trigger the gate and it turns off. And it's going to be turned off for a minimum of 10 seconds, and then a defender actually has to reactivate it to get it going again. So if an attacker jumps through or throws any kind of projectile into it, it turns off, it's gone, and then it's not going to be reactivated until a defender comes by and shoots it to reactivate it. I like where they're going with it from a perspective that we have something that isn't just place and forget. You can't just put this down, walk away, do your own thing, and that's it. Because I think there's far too much of that. Melusi being the most recent addition that really highlights that. It's not necessarily fun to play, and it's not fun to play against. You have these items that you just put down, walk away, and they just do their thing. Having an object, an item that requires the defenders to still be there to either protect it or to keep it active, I think is an interesting idea that I want them to look at more. And like one of the things that's been going through my mind is like, what if we remove bulletproof gadgets altogether? What if shields and Melusis and all of that stuff, what if they're just not bulletproof anymore? Like they'll take 2 or 3 magazines, maybe more even, but you can shoot them. So they take time and they take utility and they're going to eat up your ammo, but it's going to take a defender to be there to actually keep it 100% safe. Otherwise, you can just shoot it. I think that's maybe something they should be thinking about with other gadgets. But this gadget specifically, having it so that, and maybe we'll actually skip forward past the map reveal and look at that while it's look at the more of the gameplay stuff while that's going on. I think having a gadget that you have to actively manage and look after and be cautious of and about, I think that's a good thing. I don't mind that. The fact that it turns off after 1 use, I think that is a very serious limitation on her ability. It only takes 40 damage as well. I think it was 40, right? You run into it, it takes 40 health. That's not the end of the world. It's weaker than Kapkan, so you could, in theory, just run through if you wanted to, especially if there's like 2 or 3 attackers stacked up. Just run through. The first one takes a 40 damage hit, and that's it. Everyone else can just walk through. So I think it's an interesting gadget, but I think its limitations are serious. I don't think it's overpowered, and I don't even know how massively impactful it's going to be. Because, yeah, it's relatively easy to turn off. You just turn it off. Done. But, on the other hand, she has good weapons. She has the Aruni, and she has the sniper rifle DMR that Dokkaebi uses. That is interesting. A DMR on defense. Okay. And I'm guessing she must be 2-speed. I didn't actually notice her speed and armor rating, but she doesn't look heavily armored. Imagine she's a 3-speed and has a DMR. Like, you can see the spawn peaks just coming. You can see just people picking her to be able to spawn peek with a DMR and just run to the nearest window. No setup, no wall defense. Just, no, I'm just going to go to the nearest window and start peeking. We'll see how that plays out. And worst case scenario, we've seen in the past, they can and will change weapons if necessary. So, yeah, interesting. And then the Hibana modification, I think we kind of saw it a little bit there, and if you saw it earlier, you'll remember you can now pick whether you fire 2 pellets, 4 pellets, or 6 pellets, and I think that sort of flexibility is really interesting. And I do, it's the Mark 14, you're correct. I think that's really cool. That doesn't make her far more powerful, but it does make her more flexible to use, and I like that. There's nothing I can't say. She's 2-speed. Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's not, like, the Hibana, I think it's just a great change overall. Echo and Jaeger nerfs, I don't know how I feel about them yet, because those operators don't annoy me enough. And now I feel like, do I want to play Echo? Almost certainly not. Do I even want to play Jaeger? I don't know. So it's interesting that they're going after these operators, and if we're going by the ban rates and the pick rates, I understand. If that's what's driving this decision, bring down the pick rate of those operators, bring down the ban rates. That makes perfect sense. I get where that comes from. So I understand it, but I don't feel it affects me enough. Like, what is the Jaeger nerf? So his devices now have a 10-second cooldown timer. So every time you throw any object and the ADS goes off, it destroys that. So you throw a grenade or a flashbang or a smoke grenade or anything, it goes off, and then it's 10 seconds until it reactivates. Now, the flip side is ADS now have unlimited ability, so they can catch an infinite amount of gadgets. They're no longer numbered, but they're limited to 10 seconds at a time. So you could, if you throw a grenade and it gets caught, you could throw a grenade straight in afterwards, and it will get through unless there's a second ADS. And I think what we're really going to be seeing now, especially just in online play, is just we're going to see a lot more selfish play, that Jaeger is going to find his position where he wants to play, and he's going to double or even triple up on his ADS so that he's safe. Because the way now for attackers to deal with ADS is you throw in one grenade, it gets caught, you throw in a second one straight afterwards, and if there's only one ADS, it's getting through. So I think what we're going to see is just all of the ADS getting stacked up, either 2 of them or possibly even 3, just put in one spot to counter that ability to just throw in a second thing. Yeah, what's the Echo nerf? Echo's drone is not going to be invisible anymore. It's just visible. It's just, whether it's on the floor, you're moving it, or it's stuck to the ceiling, Echo drones are now just visible. They're just there. So, yeah, honestly, to me, that almost makes the drones, like, if they can be spotted, that makes him less valuable than Valkyrie, really. I don't know. You need to be more active, I guess, with your Echo drones. You have to control them, you have to protect them, you have to keep them safe. Maybe it's not a bad thing, but for me personally, like, I've never been a huge Echo player anyway, and I don't want to play him now. That's like the one thing he was good at was hiding that drone and denying a plant or providing information on the attackers. That's not really a thing anymore now. And you don't really need IQ as much. Imagine you can stack up 3D ADS and a 1 discs. Yeah, true. Obviously, if you focus all of your projectile defense on one area, it can be very, very powerful. But then that's it. That's the only area that's defended. Does Echo get the deployable shield back? Yes, he does. So that's the trade-off. His drones will be visible, but he gets a shield, so he can anchor a bit more. So that's a good thing. So those are basically the changes. Interesting stuff, I think. Yeah, I'm excited for most of this. The nerfs, I don't know, but at the end of the day, I'm not a huge fan of either Jaeger or Echo as a player, so I don't play them massively anyway. So for me, they're now weaker, so maybe I shouldn't complain. Maybe it's just a good thing. There you go. Is the Mark 14 an assault rifle? No, it's not. It's still a DMR, and it's now a DMR on defense. Which, yeah, interesting. I can see a lot of teammates that I've played with, like not people I know, but just random teammates that will just be spawn peeking. They don't care. They're not going to care about protecting anything. It's just spawn peeks. So I don't know. And you know what? What Ubisoft has shown is they're quite flexible with the weapons. Worst case scenario, if the DMR on defense doesn't work out, they can just get rid of it. They can just take it away and give us something else. Some additional stuff. Tachanka lost his withstand. Reinforcing walls is faster. Wamai also lost a magnet. Ash got the claymore, lost flash, and gained a new breaching round for her gadget. Thank you, Cole Ross. In with the hot takes, with the hot news. Perfect. Thank you very much. That's, yeah, interesting stuff. I just watched the main thing and haven't checked up on anything else yet because I've been live. But yeah, thanks so much for popping by and providing that info. Interesting as well. So Wamai losing one magnet. Okay, all right. Tachanka losing the withstand. I think that makes sense. The withstand was always going to be controversial. I wouldn't have minded it massively, but it's fine to go. Reinforcing walls faster. I'm up for that. It's super annoying to just stand there, especially if you're the one who's reinforcing 3 or 4 or even 5 walls and everyone else is just pissing off doing their own thing. I'm up for that. Perfect. Claymore instead of flash. That makes Ash a little less aggressive. Okay. And a great gaining a breaching round to deal with more defender utility. Perfect. I think those are really interesting changes. There is the new patch notes. So those are up. Okay, perfect. Now I'm probably going to have to go soonish because we have the match starting in 4 minutes. The match for the finals. So I'll be watching those. Thank you everyone for joining in so far. Thank you everyone for watching the stream. I hope that was interesting. I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see how this plays out. The nerfs feel harsh, but definitely still up for that, still interested in that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the match for the EOL final will be starting in 4 minutes. I'm going to be going over and watching that now. So thanks everyone for stopping by, and see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.